Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. So I put up a short this morning, starting the new job today on a little logging job. Something I don't normally do on YouTube, but I just thought it'd be kind of fun to share. So I started this morning, and you can see the Excalibur here. So this is the reason why you see loggers have multiple saws, because I got that hung up. It just twisted a little bit. So these trees here, knocked down this morning, real quick, the easy ones. I have some hard ones to take out. Little pine tree there. This tree here will probably go pretty quick. It's not too bad. But the tree way up there, now that one we're gonna have to winch down. It's gonna be a real pain. So, this is the tree I'm taking down next, and I thought I would share it with you guys. It's actually a pair of trees. Something, as loggers we don't generally do. Tree people we don't do. You generally take one tree at a time for safety reasons. But sometimes it's safer to take two trees. So this tree here, this is a sweet gum tree from hell. And this is a live oak right here. So this tree, you can see, goes way up. There's no limbs on the back side, so all the weight is this way. It's going to go that way. And you'll see how it goes around the sweet gum tree here, which is not a real big deal, except the sweet gum tree generally wants to fall this way. You'll see up there, this is the sweet gum branch, kind of intertwined. It might fall this way, but it's actually leaning that way. So it's going to be one of those situations, I cut it, it may or may not fall, it'll probably just hang up. So since I'm a YouTuber, this presented an opportunity. So I'm going to, I don't know the technical term. It's not something we use in logger class. They don't talk about it. But the old school days, we would call it humping a tree. Humping. So what I'm going to do is take this tree, put my Dutchman in, and I will partially give the back cut, just partially. And then, since this tree is so much bigger and heavier, it won't have any trouble pushing it down. See that hole? This tree is likely hollow to some degree. So we'll put a Dutchman in here and cut it with a back cut. And then the theory is it's going to grab that tree and then shove it to the ground. This tree here will likely be damaged somewhat, but it's okay because we're taking that tree out too. So anyway, this one will push that one. And I'll just partially cut it so they'll pull it. So anyway, I will set up the camera to get a hopefully decent angle. Oops, trip over the string. Crossing countries there. All right, I'm gonna try to hump a tree here for you guys, for entertainment purposes only, of course. Don't try this at home. Up on the table today is my new 661 Magnum. It's my new felling saw. The other saw you've seen possibly earlier in another video is an MS-310. Had it about 20 years, good saw. Just not quite enough ass for the big stuff. So let's have some fun. So as I suspected, it hung up. I was fully expecting that. It was just a crap situation. The biggest problem was that oak tree was hollow. It actually kind of went at a different angle than it was supposed to. Once I got in there and cut, and I could tell there was not much inside of it. But anyway, it's down. So the tree I took down is a sweet gum and an oak. It just hung up. You know, these look dangerous, and they are. If you've never done them before, if you don't understand what you're seeing, and sometimes they surprise you, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they're easy to do, or I can do them and nobody else can, but you know, you cut enough trees, you get hangers. And I've seen all kinds of videos on doing stuff, but if you watch how they're hanging, which way they want to fall, it's not that big a deal. You can see this one here just chunked up and fell to the ground, no problem at all. Thankfully, this isn't logs or firewood. This is just all junk wood. This tree's coming down as well. So up next, I'll break up this top here, get it small enough so my Bobcat can handle it, put it into a nice pile. But I do want to show you this hole. You see here where there's a hole, and it was supposed to fall evenly, but instead it got kind of funny. And I was cutting the wedge out, and I actually had a hard time getting the wedge out because it was starting to lean already. So that's why sometimes when you see these big old trees being cut down on the side of the road, not a bad thing. These trees are prone to dying out pretty quick. The soil's pretty crappy here, and they can have events that kill them. So up next, I'm gonna chunk this up a little bit. I'll just set the camera up so you guys can watch. This is a paid job, so I can't dilly-dally too long. I'm clocking myself out for camera time. I'm not going to charge a customer for me playing around here with the camera. But it's kind of fun to document, show how it goes. Like I said, that hanger, you know, that's not a big deal. Supposed to push it over. It would have mattered how I cut that tree I was pushing over. This oak didn't go where it was supposed to by just a little bit. And there you go. So, but it's not a big deal. We're through it. Let's find you guys a spot, and we'll have some fun with the saw. Quick word on safety equipment. I'm required by law to wear the hat, glasses, and chaps when I cut. It's not a bad idea, you guys should too. Bailey'sOutdoors.com. Get chaps real reasonable, glasses or mesh. Don't be silly and get hurt. And that's how you take down a tree. So it looks like a bit of a mess, and it is. But as soon as I get the ones down that I can, I've got a Bobcat with a grapple. We'll pick all this up in about 3 or 4 hours, something like that. Get all this out of the way, get them in a nice pile. So these trees here will stay on this property, these trees will stay over here. All right, let's go up the hill and see what other trouble we can find. All right, folks. Had a derailment here on the Magnum. Chain probably got a little loose on me. The Husqvarna H51 chain's what I use. Best chain. Brand new chain this morning. Haven't tightened it yet. It probably just got pushed off. It's probably not even really loose. Anyway, it's a big hickory tree. Well, fairly big. Sweet gum and another hickory. They leaning not in a very good way, so it was best just get all of them out of the way. So let's wrap this up for the day. This will be my first video of this. We've got another tree. This big crazy looking thing here we've got to take down. It's going to be a little more risky, just not for falling on anything, but just for, you know, saw your safety. I need some water. Anyway, guys, like and subscribe. Come out and check for the next video. Always something different here. I will try to have some more logging videos if you guys like them real well. But I guess that wraps it up. So we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.